let's talk about Manny Pacquiao. The fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is now official. July 19th on pay-per-view in Las Vegas. We saw a video this week, Sergio, of Manny Pacquiao back at Wild Card, like he's never left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is not going to have zero legs. There's a man that made a career with going in and out. He's going to have to evolve his style to an older man style, but I don't think he's going to be at danger to risk his health or anything like that, especially against a Mario Barrios, because Pacquiao knows how to fight. Whenever you know how to fight, you know how to survive. You know how to slow things down. You know how to not take risks. Pacquiao only got knocked out 3 times in 72 fights. 2 of those were in the 90s, before you and I even knew him. And one time against Marquez, it was a one-punch knockout. Those really don't take away from your career and your longevity. It was one-punch knockouts. It's the beatdowns over a long period of time, for 10, 12, 11, 11 rounds. Those are the ones that catch up to you. Those are the ones that actually slow you down and are detrimental to your health. One-punch knockouts, you can get past those. Early knockouts that are way back in the rearview mirror, you can forget those. Pacquiao's going to be just fine against Mario Barrios.
Okay, so as usual, you're all over the place with that one. So you're not worried about Pacquiao physically, is what you're saying.
No,
okay.
I am not.
But you don't put any credence into the videos that we saw, or how Pacquiao looks right now. You don't think he's going to be competitive in this fight.
What does credence means? What's that? An old 70s band, CCR? I don't know what credence means. Give me another word. All right.
You don't think Pacquiao? Do you think Pacquiao is going to be competitive in this fight?
Yes, because like I said before the beginning of my statement, whenever you're a champion, especially a legend, you know how to slow things down. He's going to be just fine. He's going to be able to attack in certain spurts, and then he's going to hold back. He's going to be able to lean on opponents, walk opponents back. Even the intimidation of just being, Mario Barrios has never faced someone like Manny Pacquiao, a legend like this. He's faced really good champions, but not legends. Whenever you're in front of a legend, things are different. I fought Shane Mosley. Things were different when I seen Shane Mosley across the ring. I'm thinking, I'm actually going to fight Shane Mosley in the same ring Oscar De La Hoya fought him in the same venue. It blows your mind when you're in front of that type of greatness. So Mario Barrios is going to be a little intimidated, and that's going to buy him some rounds. So I think Manny Pacquiao is going to be just fine, Chris Mannix, just fine.
You're thinking, by the way, of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
There you go.
That's what you were thinking of there. I'm not worried about the health of Manny Pacquiao, because he's not fighting a killer. I mean, Mario Barrios is a 140-pounder coming up, who in his last fight easily could have lost to Abel Ramos. That was not a good performance, and that was about a year ago. I am concerned, though, that Pacquiao is going to look horrible, because he did not look good in his last fight against Yordenis Ugas. His last win came in 2019. The 2 exhibitions that he's been in, he has had a dad bod, a boxer's dad bod. He has not looked good. He's like fleshy in these fights. I don't think you can just shake off that type of that type of layoff, come back after 4+ years, fight in a world title fight, even against a fighter as, pedestrian average of a champion as Mario Barrios. I still think he's going to look horrible. We've seen this, Sergio, whether it's Muhammad Ali against Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard against Hector Camacho, Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. When these guys come back and try to turn back the clock and do something special, occasionally they're able to do it. Occasionally we get a guy that pulls off a miracle. But more often than not, they get embarrassed and we wonder what the hell they were doing there in the first place. Manny Pacquiao should not need to do something like this. He has made a small fortune in his professional boxing career. He has, presumably, a political career ahead of him back in the Philippines. I think we're going to get through this fight in mid-July. And I think we're going to be wondering, why did he do this? Because Mario Barrios is probably going to beat him like 9-3 or 10-2. I just think it's going to be an ugly affair because we're going to think that Pacquiao is going to be the 2013 Pacquiao or even the 2019 Pacquiao that beat Keith Thurman. He's not going to be that. He's not going to be close to that. He is old. He's going to be slow. And I think this is going to be a very difficult fight for people to watch.
The audacity you have to call anyone a dad bod. I seen you without a shirt. You're a stepdad bod.
I'm not a professional fighter.
It doesn't matter, man. But listen, he is a legend. You talk about Manny Pacquiao, you put him up with the legends with the names you just mentioned, the Sugar Ray Leonards, Muhammad Ali's, and the great fighters. It's a rite of passage, man. This is what happens to fighters, and we're fine with it. We're fine, being alpha, being ahead of the pack for so long in the limelight, being a champion, being respected, being around for so long, and then finally in the end getting knocked out by a young buck. That's what happens to every great. You can go way back to history. That's what you're going to get. And it's not going to change. Manny Pacquiao did the beating. He wasn't getting the beat down. He did the beating when he beat down Oscar de la Hoya, another legend. You didn't mention that one there. He made Oscar de la Hoya resign in the corner, and then Manny Pacquiao had his moment in
2008.
Now it's Manny Pacquiao's turn to face that. Every great champion, every great name faces that, where they're in charge for so long. It's hard for
But
fighters.
Sergio, that's your comp. Like you're saying.
Yes, it is.
But
yes,
then,
it is.
Then you're
because
saying that Pacquiao, in this argument, hold on, in this argument, Pacquiao is De La Hoya. What happened to De La Hoya in that fight?
Yeah. No, he got beat down and he got beat to submission. But Sugar Ray Robinson got beat to submission at one time. Muhammad Ali got beat down into submission with Larry Holmes. Sugar Ray Leonard with Hector Camacho.
And we regret those fights. We regret those fights.
Rite of passage, man. This is what happens. Only a very selected few leave on top. I'm talking about Ricardo Lopez, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Andre Ward, Sergio Mora left on a win. But great names. You know what I'm talking about, Chris Mannix? Guys that have been so long in the game, it doesn't matter if they take one beating at the end of their career because they already have no legs. They're doing it for the payday. They're doing it because they deserve that. And they have that right. I go out on my terms. And of course, there's flashes of ignorance saying, I might still have a little left to come back because you can't judge greatness. Look at Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran fought in 5 decades. Roberto Duran was fighting well into his 40s, man. You can't tell greatness what to do. And we're definitely not going to tell Pacquiao what to do if he wants to come back at 46 years old. He's going to be just fine.
I agree. You can't tell greatness what to do. I disagree with your name being on that list of.
I just threw it out there to get a grimace from your ugly face.
But all the guys you mentioned in the fights that we're talking about, I bet Muhammad Ali years later regretted the fights with Larry Holmes and Leon Spinks. I bet if you asked Sugar Ray Leonard if he could do it all over again, he wouldn't fight Hector Camacho in 1997. Mike Tyson against Jake Paul was really hard to watch. I mean, yeah, they've got the right to do it, and there certainly is going to be an audience for it. I'm just telling you, when this is over, it's going to join that list of fights we wish we didn't see. Simple as that. Fights we wish that we didn't see.